Hello, everyone, and welcome. My name is Julie Mann. I'm also known as the Habit Fixer, and I really love helping women over 50 to enjoy amazing health, well-being, and self-confidence. And I do that through EFT, which is a tapping technique, nutrition, skincare, and digital products. And today, I'm just beyond excited to introduce Jacqui Baker. Now, if you don't know Jacqui runs Select Connections. If you're single or things aren't going so well in your relationship, you absolutely need to listen to what she's got to say. So I'm going to hand straight over to you, Jacqui, for you to give us your habits.
Thank you very much, Jules, for having me on. And hopefully, some of the things I say today can be just a mini school of useful to ladies over 50 who are maybe doing things slightly wrong and thinking, it's their fault, but it's not their fault. So, like some tips and that I find myself giving clients or people that come to me for chats or some mentoring. I suppose we go right back to let's, not just quite get into the dating, but preparing yourself for dating. Some of the bad habits people get into is thinking that the person they're going to meet, like there is, I want them to like me. I want them to like me, gosh, like you don't need to be nervous. You don't need to be apprehensive. You need to go in there with the mindset of I am an individual and I am fabulous and I am good for write down 3 things. I don't say journal because I say write it down because, I'm from the boomer era where we didn't journal. So to remove that woo-woo from it, I just say sit down on a nice sheet of paper when you're having a cup of tea in the morning and write down 3 good things about yourself. Okay, it's like we don't really do that to ourselves. We don't self blow ourselves up or profundicate or whatever they call it about ourselves, but it's good to do it. It's good to write down, like I'm a good friend, or I am a good listener, or things that just think about yourself, and then go into that date with a lovely mindset of if if you get on and the person that you're meeting, the guy that you're meeting is good, if he suits you, if he suits your values. And that's the other thing. So we talk about the dating, but we need to take a step back to the values as well. So while you're doing this thing about thinking about you and your strengths and how fabulous you are, you need to also think, what are my values? Now, everyone talks, they have the buzzwords all the time, and values is one of these words now. But to take the buzz out of the word, it's to think about things that are important to you in your life. The core things. There might be only 3 or 5 of them, whereas some people have a list of 15 of what they want. But it's things that matter to you in another person that you hold in your heart yourself. And once you've done this a little bit of work, and then you move towards dating, the bad habits we get into, we start to get a bit nervous. We wonder what the hell we're going to wear, we wonder where we're going to go. Don't do any of that. Put on something nice, just fix yourself nice. I always say make the effort, because none of us rarely, well, I have some people that come to me and they wonder why, they look lovely in their profile pictures and everything. And then when they go on the date, they wonder why the bottom falls out of the date and there's no date too. It's because of those things that I've just said, but also because when they get to the date, they're that nervous or apprehensive that they just blow it. They're not themselves. You need to try and be as close to yourself as you possibly can that day. And that is just removing all that stigma from dating and just think, I'm going to meet a good friend today, not going to get hyped up about this, going to go in nice and relaxed like I would do if I'm meeting Beverly for a cup of tea, and I'm just going to sit down, be myself. And if that's not good enough for them, then tough. Let's move on to the next one. Why would I set myself up to date someone who is not going to suit me? So that is what we find a lot. There's a little air, especially in ladies over 60s, of desperation. You need to remove that. You need to know how brilliant you are, and you need to just take it back to basics. And just, I have a friend in London. She's a serial dater, but she calls it her social life. her social life. That's her social life, because she knows she'll never live with someone again because she's become so set in her ways. So that's her social life. So why not, first of all, again, do all those things, but while you're doing all those things, think about what you want from this relationship as well. Don't run into dating without thinking, right, what is it I want? Do I want someone to move in with me, or me with them? Or do I want someone, what I call the LATS relationship, living apart together, which is, I think, the most popular one, where you find someone, nice guy, you know, suits you, got the right values, makes you feel good, you make him feel good, and he has his place, you have yours, and you do nice things together, maybe spend a night or two together down the line in each other's places, but you come back to your own little nest in your own little space. So that seems to be the most popular one. But then other people want that full-time thing as well, where they're not at home alone in the evenings or in the mornings. So once you determine what you want, then it makes it easier to find what you want as well. These are all just little things that we don't work on, and if we did, be so much better.
So brilliant, Jacqui. I mean, really simple things that anyone can put into practice, but really, really important, aren't they, to kind of set that foundation for what you want. And actually, in doing the steps that you suggested, that confidence is going to start to build, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah. Now, I know.
Yes, absolutely. And they're so simple, Julie. They're so simple.
Yeah. Now, I know you mentioned women being a bit desperate when they get older, 50, 60, I think you said. Obviously, this is not just advice for women, is it? Because you deal with men as well. And
Yes.
do you find that there are similar concerns, whether it's male, female?
Oh, absolutely. No, exactly the same. Sorry, I just got another noise from another direction there. The joys of working from home. No, definitely not. Men, yes, they actually are more nervous than women are on dates. So that's one big thing, that when we're dealing with men, and we do deal with a lot of men, and we have our own separate, like, yes, there's a lot that run alongside each other, but with men there are also different things that they need to deal with than women, and the main one that they have is actually nervousness, and then they start waffling, and then women think that they're just talking about themselves all the time. But we always say, in that incident, if you liked them, if you got along with them, and you enjoyed their company, even though they did talk all the time, go to date 2, because it will be totally different, because they won't be nervous on that date. But it is a big thing with men, as well as apprehension as well, the same as deciding what they want, and the same as, knowing their strengths.
Yeah, I guess it's about as well, not listening to respond, but listening in a kind of curious way, not waiting to give the right answer or the answer that you've had in your head. It's really about kind of, that mutual sort of discovery, isn't it, in the conversation?
Yeah.
It's about listening and being present in that, which is obviously a little bit tricky if you're a little bit anxious. But like you say, give someone the benefit of the doubt.
Exactly. If they haven't, if they weren't talking about anything that didn't interest you, and they were talking about their past relationships, and how the dog died and things like that, then they're not the person you want to, meet in the next date. But if they were talking and they were interested, and yes, maybe they did talk a wee bit too much about themselves, but you laughed, you found it interesting, go to the next date. But if they totally bored you, then draw the line and move on. Anyway, male or female.
Absolutely brilliant, Jacqui. Now, all of Jacqui's links will be below this video. Do reach out, find out what she's up to. She's up to so many different things, and she really knows her stuff. So thank you so much, Jacqui, for sharing those brilliant habits. And thank you ever so much, everyone else, for watching.